And let's go now to the last part. Okay, now the last part of this lesson, solve radical equations. Okay, now solving radical equation is easy. We have only 3 different type of example to solve the radical equation. The first example here, as you can see, okay, solve radical equation. So the first example, solve this one here. My purpose or my goal is to isolate x, to solve x. Or the first step, try to isolate the square root. Okay, as you can see, where is the part has square root? So all of that part has square root. So try to isolate a square root alone in one side, so you can square it, okay, to cancel the square with the square root. Okay, so this is what I did here. I have here -2, so I have to move -2 to the other side. So +2 for both sides. So we cancel these 2, so it become like this one here. So 2x plus 2 equal this one. Now to cancel the square root, I have to do what? I have to square now both sides. Square this and square this one here. Now I can cancel the square with the square root, so it becomes 100 minus 12x. And 2x plus 2x, so this one is can be simplified as 2 bracket 2x plus 2 and 2x plus 2. Because you know that square means 2 bracket. Now distributive property, 2x times 2x is equal 4x squared. 2x times 2 plus 4x. 2 times 2x plus 4x. 2 times 2 plus 4. Now add the like term, which is 4x. So the answer is equal 4x squared plus 8x plus 4. So now we take this one and we replace it here. So 4x squared plus 8x plus 4, this is how after you simplify. Now my goal with the next step is to make it as the quadratic formula, standard form. Ax squared plus bx, plus c. Why I need to make equal 0? So you have to make one side equal 0 and the other side should be in the standard form of the quadratic. Why? Because after you do it as a quadratic, then you need to factorize. Okay? Factorize means to find the x's. Okay? Now, so the first thing, so now the next step, I have to minus 100 from this side, minus 100 from this side, and I have to add plus 12x and plus 12x for both. So now we cancel 100 with -100 and -12 with +12, so it becomes 0. Now 4 minus 100 is equal -96, and 8x plus 12x is equal 20x. Okay, I hope you understand this step. Then now, as you can see, you can use calculator. If a calculator is allowed to use, you can click shift, okay, mode, okay, 5 and 3. Then you block the numbers A, B, and C. Okay, then you can find the x's. Or if you don't know how to do it, so just do it here with me. As you can see, first try to find a common factor between 4 and 20 and 96. So 4 is a common factor. So if I take 4 as a common factor, I will take 4 out. So 4 divided 4 is x squared. 20x divided 4 is equal 5x. Negative 90x divided by 4 is 24. Now find the factors of negative 24 that will give me the answer 5. So now what are two factors of 5 of 20 negative 24 that give me 5? So as you can see, if I have 8 and -3, so it will give me 5. So the first x plus 8 and the second x is x minus 3. Okay, so this is what you can see here. Now after we find them, we take every part equal 0. So x plus 8 equals 0, as you can see. So x is equal -8. Then I take x minus 3 equals 0. So x minus 3 equals 0. So x equal 3. Now, as you can see here, I have two x's. The first x is equal -8. The second x is equal 3. Now, not both of them has correct answer. You need to check. Okay, which one of these is correct? Is it a 3 or is it negative 8? So what you have to do, you have to plug in this in the equation. So plug in negative 8 here and plug in negative 8 here. So this is what you can say. Put negative 8 here and negative 8 here. So negative 8 times 2, negative 16. And if you put negative 8, you simplify. So at the end, it will be negative 16 is not equal negative 12. So as you can see, this is wrong answer. So now negative 8 is a wrong answer. We are not going to take it. Now let's try negative 3. So now take negative 3 and replace negative 3 in this x and replace negative 3, positive 3 in this x and this x. Then simplify, you get 6 equals 6. So of course this is the correct answer. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now one more example here. So as you can see, question number B. Okay, this is easy. So as I told you, try to isolate the part of this root so you can square it or cubic or whatever you do. Now let's isolate it. So negative 14 for both sides. So we cancel these out. So it become cube root x minus 5 square, okay, equal 50 minus 14 is equal 36. Okay, then let's cube both sides. Okay, to cancel the cubic root is cube both sides. Cube here and cube here. So we cancel the cube with the cube root, so it become x minus 5 square equal 36 cube. Okay, then to cancel the square, so I have to do square root for both sides. So square root for this, square root for this. So we cancel the square with the square root, so it become x minus 5 equal. Now 36 to the power of 3 square root is equal, I think 260. Okay, 260. Now if I plus 5 for both sides, so the answer is equal, x is equal 221. So x is equal this. Now if you need to make sure that your answer is correct, so you can just take this x 222 block n instead of this x, then you get 50 equal 50. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now the last question here, see, it's take some time from me to solve it. So I need you to focus with me how to solve this equation. Just focus, and I hope you will understand how to solve this. First thing, let me remove this one above a little bit, so because we need this space. Now the first step here is, I told you always to isolate the part, the square root, but as you can see, I have a square root on both sides, so I can't isolate square root. So what I have to do, just now start do square for both sides. So now let's do a square for this side here and square for this side here. Now let's cancel the square with the square root, so it become x minus 2. Okay, let me make it small. X minus 2 equal. Now as you can see, this bracket, I can't distribute 2 for this and this. This is wrong. This is wrong. You can't do that, because when I gave you this equation, I told you simplify this. You are distributing the 2, or you are doing this bracket repeated twice. You will say that this bracket repeated twice, so that's mean this bracket also repeated twice. So you have to repeat the bracket twice, not distribute the power. So now 5 minus square root 15 minus x, and 5 minus square root 15 minus x. Okay, now what you have to do, use distributive property. So now 5 times 5, so now let's keep this side same, x minus 2. So 5 times 5 is equal to 25. Now negative square root of, before negative. Okay, now 5 times the square root, so you just multiply the number, put the number in front of the square root. So 5 square root 15 minus 6. When you multiply a number with the square root, just put the number in front of the square root. That's it. You don't have to do anything more. Then you multiply now this square root with the 5. We do the same thing, negative 5 square root of 15 minus x. Then square root times the square root. When you're multiplying a square root, multiply, this is a rule. When you multiply square root times square root, you just cancel them and you keep x. Okay, you don't have to write x squared, no, just x. You cancel the squares and you put x. So as you can see, I have a square root here and I have a square root here, so they cancel each other, so it becomes plus 15 minus x. Okay, now let's add the like term. As you can see here, I have a 25 and I have 15 here, so now let's keep x minus 2. 25 plus 15 is equal 40, and I have here negative 5 square root 15 minus x, negative 5 square root 15 minus x, also a like term, so it should be negative 10 square root 15 minus x. Okay, then we have here minus x, don't forget this minus x, put it here next to it. Now let's take the x's and the numbers to the other side. Okay, so let's take a negative 40 and negative 40 and positive x and positive x. So now we cancel this 2 and we cancel this 2, so it becomes negative 10 square root 15 minus 5 minus x, and here x plus x is equal to x. Negative 2 negative 40 is negative 42. Okay, now next, after we simplified, let's do the square root for both sides to cancel the square. So square here and square, not square root, sorry, square for both sides. So now let's square this. So when we square this part here, it's not the same this one. Here we can distribute the 2. Why we can distribute here? Because negative 10 is multiplied with the square root, but here the 5 is minus. So we can distribute here. When they are multiplied, I can distribute, because this rule, when I have a times b to the power of something, I can distribute the power for a and b, so it will be a squared and b squared. But when I have a plus b squared, I can't multiply this. This is mean a plus b and a plus b. This is the difference between these two rules. So now if I distribute the 2 for, it will be 100, negative 10 squared 100, and the square will cancel the square root, so it will become 15 minus x. Okay, and this bracket here, it's a squared, so I have to write it twice. So 2x minus 42, and here 2x minus 42. Then what I have to do, just use this distributive property. So 2x times 2x is equal 4x squared. 2x times negative 42 is negative 84x. Then same thing here, negative 84x. Then negative 42 times negative 42 is equal positive 1764 equal. Now we distribute the 100, so 100 times 15 is 1500 or 1500. 100 times negative x is negative 100x. Okay, now add the like term. As you can see, I have here negative 84, so it becomes 4x squared. Negative 100, it's equal negative 168. Okay, x plus 1764 equal 1500 minus 100x. Now as you can see, the question is back as a quadratic function. If you remember, I told you we need to rewrite this one as the standard form of the quadratic function, ax squared plus bx plus c equal 0. So now I have to make this side equal 0 by minus 1500. Okay, and here minus 1500, right? And here minus 100, it should be plus 100x and plus 100x. So we cancel this 2 term and we cancel this 2 term, so it will be here is equal 0. Now it will be 4x squared and minus 68x, okay, then plus 264. Now you can use your calculator, which is shift mode 5-3, and you can find the answer, or you can do it easily by taking the common factor. What's the common factor here? 4 is the common factor, so it will be 4x squared minus 68x divided by 4 is equal 17, okay, x plus 264 divided by 4 is equal 66. okay, equal 0. Now what's the common factor? What is the 66? Two number, if I multiply them I get 66, and if I add them negative 17, it's negative 11 and negative 6. So negative 11 times negative 6 is equal positive 66, and if you add them you get negative 17. So now the answer will be 4 equal x minus 11 and x minus 6. So now the final answer will be x equal 11 and x is equal 6. Sorry. So this is the two answer. Now if you need to know which one is the correct answer, you need to plug them in the equation. Okay, so now if I plug, I will just do it fast. Okay, if I plug both of them in the function, 11 will be the answer and also 6 will be the answer. Okay, I hope now you understand this way to solve. It's easy, it's long way, right? But it's easy if you understand the concept, okay, that I was explaining here. This one here and this one here and this one here. Okay, so everything is easy. Try to practice. Now I believe that you can know how to solve these three questions. Okay, if you need to start with 6b, then 6a, then the last one for the 6c. I hope you understand this. Here's some questions. Try to solve them from your pre-calculus book. Have a good day. See you. Bye-bye.